I found the key in a drawer I had never opened. It was old, heavy, and cold to the touch, made of a metal that didn't shine like silver or brass. Its shape was unusual, jagged at one end, smooth at the other, as if it were carved for some door that didn't exist. The moment I held it, a chill ran down my spine. I couldn't explain why, but it felt alive, like it was calling to me, whispering, daring me to use it. I showed it to my friends the next day. They laughed and said it was just an antique key, probably to some old cabinet, but I couldn't shake the feeling that it belonged somewhere only I could find. That night, I dreamt of a door I'd never seen before. It stood at the end of a long, dim hallway, carved from black wood that shimmered slightly under an unseen light. I approached it in the dream and tried the key. It didn't fit. It hovered an inch from the lock, as if resisting me. And then I woke up, gasping, with the key clutched in my hand. I tried to put it out of my mind the next morning, but I kept seeing the door in every reflective surface. My bathroom mirror, the window glass, even the screen of my phone. It was subtle at first, almost a trick of light. Then I noticed scratches on my bedroom door. Tiny gouges, straight lines, almost like someone had tried to fit a key that didn't belong. I lived alone. I laughed it off nervously. Maybe I was just stressed, imagining things. But the feeling of being watched stayed. By the third day, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I carried the key in my pocket everywhere. I even slept with it under my pillow. At night, I started hearing sounds. Soft, scratching noises, like metal against wood, always from the far corner of my room, near the walls. I tried to ignore them, told myself it was the house settling, but then I started seeing shadows. Not normal shadows cast by light, shadows that moved against the flow of illumination. Darker than black, alive. I remembered the old stories about my town, stories my grandmother whispered about doors that shouldn't exist. Doors that led to places no one could escape from. I didn't want to believe it, but the key kept vibrating slightly in my pocket, as if urging me to find the door, to use it. And so I began searching. Every old building, abandoned house, storage room, even the basement of my apartment. I tried every door. None fit. Not a single lock turned. The key remained stubborn, heavy, and patient. I even tried doors I knew had no locks. Still, it resisted, and the shadows followed. I realized then I wasn't just holding a key. I was holding a warning. Something waiting for me. One night, after weeks of searching, I heard a sound in my hallway. A faint click, like a lock turning. I froze, heart racing. The key felt hotter in my hand. It vibrated violently. I ran to the source. Nothing. Just the dim light of the hallway bulb flickering, but the shadows were thicker now. They stretched across the walls, following me. When primera tunet, they shifted unnaturally, avoiding the light. I felt eyes on me. I couldn't sleep anymore. Every dream was the same hallway. Every dream, the black door. The scratches on my bedroom door grew. I measured them. They were deeper now, like metal scraping wood. One night, I left the key on the table. I woke up to find it gone. The drawer was open. The key was back in my hand, but the air felt colder. I could hear whispers, just barely audible. I tried to follow them. They led me to my basement. The air smelled metallic. The basement light didn't work. I fumbled with a flashlight. The beam caught a door I had never noticed. It was small, old, and painted black. There was no handle, but the key fit the lock. For the first time, I turned it slowly. The click echoed unnaturally loud. The door creaked open. A cold wind blew out. Inside, there was darkness deeper than night. I could hear footsteps behind me. He spun around nothing. Then the door slammed shut. The key fell to the floor, and the whispers became voices. They spoke my name. Soft, inviting, menacing. You're finally here. I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't move. The darkness seemed to reach for me. I realized then the key wasn't just a key. It was an invitation to a place I wasn't meant to leave. I stepped inside. The air was heavy, almost solid. I couldn't see the floor, The walls shimmered faintly. Figures moved just beyond the light. Watching. Waiting. I heard a door behind me slam. The key turned in my pocket. It burned. I couldn't turn back. I couldn't see ahead. Only the voices. And the feeling that this place had been waiting for me. 4 years. Days passed. I don't know how many. Time lost meaning. The black door never closed. It waited. I couldn't leave the room, the hallway, or my own mind. The shadows became people, figures twisted in impossible ways. They whispered secrets, memories that weren't mine. I tried screaming. No sound came out. Only the key pulsed with heat. It dragged me forward. Through corridors I had never seen, into rooms that didn't exist. Each room held pieces of my life, my childhood toys, my school books. But everything was wrong. Colors muted, faces blurred, voices distorted. Even my own reflection looked unfamiliar. Then I saw it, a figure in the distance. Tall, thin, with my face. It smiled and held a key in its hand. Identical to mine, it beckoned me forward, and I realized there were dozens of keys, all leading somewhere. Somewhere I didn't want to go, but couldn't resist. The figure whispered, almost like my own voice, "You're ready." I stepped closer. I woke up back in my apartment. The key was in my hand. Nothing seemed wrong. Or so I thought. The scratches on my bedroom door were gone. The whispers were gone. I tried to forget it, to live a normal life. But the key, it never left me. It vibrated at night. Sometimes in my dreams, sometimes on its own. And I realized I hadn't escaped. I had only delayed it. The black door still exists. It waits for anyone curious enough to try. And I know someday it will open again. And I will step inside, because some keys don't fit doors. Some doors choose you. If you've made it this far on Unblinking, comment below. Would you touch a key like this? Like the video if it scared you, and share with someone brave enough to face the unknown. Subscribe for more stories that watch you, even when you're home.